You are tuned in to 88.9 WCVF FM The Voice. My name is Brian, and you are currently listening to Echo Valley, the show where we explore lesser known and more obscure music on a variety of formats. So, spring is starting to poke its head around here. The snow is gone, the temperature is rising, and the rain won't go away. But while I'm going to miss the cold as it leaves, the heat is going to come and change how we dress, look, and overall feel. Once it starts to get too hot, there's going to be a lot of thoughts going through my head that are hard to describe. And there's only one album that can perfectly portray what those feelings are. So before we get into that, let me tell you about James Ferraro. James Ferraro is a New York-born musician who's best known for his experimental music and artwork. A lot of his work explores the concepts of consumer culture, dystopian civilizations, and surrealism. One of his biggest attributes is his ability to change his style from release to release. For example, his older works from the 2000s are notably noisy, low-fidelity ambient rock, while his work in the 2010s transitioned to cleaner electronic R&B and modern classical. Both of the ways I just described don't even begin to cover his vast range of sounds he's been able to produce in his career as a musician. But today we're going to be focusing on a single release of his that's just a glimpse to his landscape. Last American Hero is an album of his released in 2008. This album has a very focal theme on desert landscapes and gated communities. Stylistically, it's an ambient album with some country music tones included in a style that some people call ambient Americana. I can go on and on about the themes about this album, but let's give you a taste of what to expect. This is Last American Hero.
You're listening to WCVF 88.9 FM, the voice of Fredonia.
Discovered a rare and exotic bird. Had a feeling like I shouldn't believe it, but I hung on to every word. It takes an effort just to play that part. Trade away my life. I'm calling out on the tin can phone, so everything is fine. And I'm calling out to the ones who know. In the twilight of the empire.
And we're back. I hope you weren't disappointed with what we just heard. I'm talking before the other song, but let's dive a little bit into the album's creation. So, Last American Hero was originally released on cassette in 2008. It was actually sort of a double album, as the B-side of the cassette had an entirely different program called Adrenaline's End. Later in 2010, the album was released on vinyl with entirely new artwork, track title names, and a bit more contextualization and lore surrounding the release. Interestingly, the vinyl release was only the Last American Hero portion of the album, and it didn't include Adrenaline's End. That is still the case today, as Adrenaline's End still has yet to be released, so for today, we're only listening to the core part of the album. That would usually be the end of the story, but there's some more stuff to say due to news that came to fans just last week. On March 16th, Ferraro tweeted an announcement for his Restoration series, an apparent ongoing project to remaster his older albums and release them on modern platforms and streaming. One of these albums was, of course, Last American Hero, which was just released this last Tuesday. Like the vinyl release, the digital remaster only contains the core portion of the album, but it has been cleaned up and even given remixed artwork based on the original cassette artwork. So far, I've been seeing mixed reactions to it, but I think it's an adequate way to listen to this classic. This also isn't the version I'm playing for you today, as I have the older vinyl master on my phone, but that's also a great way to listen to this album. We only have 2 more tracks to go through, so let's finish this up and get right back into the program.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
places. Got me feeling divine places. Right places. You touch me in the right places. Right places. Right places. Yeah. They go making my heart jump all over, even though I'm stone cold sober. I feel drunk when I look into your eyes. Yeah, we may not know each other well at all, but I don't care because our bodies seem to fit together right. Yeah, and I don't know if I'll survive without you by my side. Should I stay another night? Oh, baby, you're so fine. Right places, right places. You notice all the right places, right places. Got me feeling divine places, right places. You touch me in the right places, right places, right places. Yeah.
Join Sound Services on Tuesday, March 28th for an alumni masterclass with Jenna Vertowski and Samantha Hernandez. The masterclass will run from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Williams Center Room 204 ABC and will feature a Q&A, teaching, and a soldering lesson. For more information, check out the Instagram page at @soundservices_, and we hope to see you there. All right, and that will be it for today. To recap, we listened to Last American Hero by James Ferraro, the ambient desert-themed album by a very prolific experimental musician. You can find more of Ferraro's music on his Bandcamp page and several streaming services, so I suggest you check him out if you like this, because you might find something in his catalog that sticks out to you. With that said, thank you to everyone who tuned in. You can hear more of this right here on WCVF The Voice on Fridays at 2 p.m. If you missed out, then check out the Fredonia Radio System's YouTube channel for future uploads of Echo Valley. Until next time, this is Brian, and thanks again for listening.